Hello to all the sales professionals out there. This is your coach, Joel Pinero, bringing you the tip of the day. Again, always sharpening your skills, making your presentation better. That way you can transmit that information effectively. Okay? The minute that you stop learning, you start forgetting. So that's why we got to continue education, continue coaching. Okay, always sharpening your skills. I want to talk about timeshare, all right? I want to talk about the concept of timeshare. I'm going to be jumping from angle to angle. We're going to look at it from the salesperson point of view. I want to show you a little bit about from the customer point of view and how to, make sure that they understand this concept correctly instead of rejecting it. Talking about the customer, when they come to a timeshare sales presentation, of course, in their mind, they're going to something challenging, right? They're going to go to battle. They're going to go to a war with somebody. They have this perception about what's going to happen, and probably is because of gossip, right? Because a friend told them, the reputation, maybe they have one and they had a representative, they kind of didn't treat them correctly because maybe they know how to transmit that information and be effective, okay? So of course they come in already resisting a little bit, okay, the presentation. Now, like the videos that I've been talking about, you have to create your trust, you gotta connect with them, right? As a human first. You gotta make sure that you create the need and all these things. But let's talk about the salesperson. I'm gonna be mixing it up a little bit, okay? From the salesperson point, when you go into the timeshare industry, one of the things to be more effective and to have success, you need to buy the product. And what I mean with that is you need to look at the things that the product is going to do, and that way you increase your level of belief. When you believe in what you're doing and what you're selling, you're going to be more effective. You're going to be more, you can do a duel with the customer, not to argue, but he's going to see in your eyes that you are intense, that you are convinced. To be able to convince somebody, you got to be convinced. So let's talk about timeshare in regards of what it is and all of that, okay? Timeshare is pretty simple, okay? I can explain timeshare in 40 seconds, but I'm gonna take longer going from different angles. You're sharing a time, right? So timeshare is pretty much that you are sharing a time with other people. Let me explain that. From a customer and a salesperson point of view. If you stay in a hotel, guess what? That is timeshare. Because what you're doing is you are renting, right? A time from Monday to Friday or Friday to Sunday, whatever it is, and you have the right of that room for that period of time. Your contract is that contract, right? That you have an agreement that you're paying money from Monday to Friday and nobody else should be in that room, only you. At the end of that journey, at the end of that stay, what do you have? You have that piece of paper, right? That receipt. And again, what good is it? I'll leave that to you, but you have nothing. And that is timeshare. As a matter of fact, that's the original form of timeshare. That's what started the whole thing. The only difference is the hotel gives you, a 10 by 14, right? And let's say you're gonna pay for a suite or something like that, but you're gonna pay big dollars. But you know what I mean, right? A regular hotel room, 2 double beds, a little table with a lamp. Again, sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. That is a hotel. In regards of over here, right, in the resort area, in the timeshare that you're selling, you are giving what? A deed and title, or you might selling a package of points, or you might selling 30 years or 20 years, whatever the case may be, and you have the right to that time in a condo, right? That's one of the big differences, right? A 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, depends what you're selling, okay? So that's the difference between those two. Now, timeshare itself, it should not be a surprise for people, right? If you flew somewhere, if you go to New York, if you go to Europe, if you go to the Caribbean, do you bought the whole plane for yourself? No. You bought 1 chair, 2 chairs, and you have that agreement that from point A to point B, right, you have the right to be in that plane. You didn't buy the whole plane. That is timeshare. You are sharing with other people, because imagine having to buy a plane to go to the Caribbean or go to New York or so, okay? You follow me? If you rented a car, you have the right from Monday to Friday or Friday to Saturday, whatever the day is. That is timeshare. You see, you got to make it clear to the customer that timeshare is just a way to make things available to you at a reasonable price. You rented a car, at the end of that journey, at the end of that agreement, you have nothing. The car goes back to the owner and you just have zero. You have a receipt. That is timeshare. Is that correct? So the hotel, the car rental, the airplane, listen, I'm going to take it to the ridiculous. Okay, do you drink milk? If the answer is yes, for those who do, okay. Do you have a cow tied up to the kitchen? No, you buy 1 gallon of milk, that other gentleman buys another gallon, and it's been shared, right? So that way you can have what you need and not buy more than what you need or you're going to use, right? The same with meat. If you want pizza and you don't want to eat the whole pie, you don't want to buy the whole pie, you buy 1 slice. You buy what you need, what you want, or whatever you can afford. That is timeshare. So timeshare, and it goes in many levels. As a matter of fact, listen, the rich are buying timeshare. Right now, they're taking yachts, $4, $5, $6, $10 million yachts, and they're selling it as timeshare. In other words, I can buy a certain amount of usage, right, and not be responsible for the whole purchase. That is timeshare, because timeshare is a smart way to go. You follow me? There's some private planes that you can buy 30 hours a month. Guess what? That is timeshare. The rich don't want to spend $12 million in a plane if they don't have to, right? They're going to buy whatever they need if they're not flying all the time, so they're buying the usage. They're buying the help with it. The crew members are in part of that, and that's part of your maintenance. That's another topic. But timeshare is something that happens worldwide. Listen, you buy a house in a subdivision. Guess what? You go in, you don't buy the whole place. You buy one lot, lot 231, right? And you build your place there, and somebody else is going to buy the lot on how much they need. See, that is timeshare. So when you bring it down to the lowest common denominator, right? So things that people can relate, then they start looking at timeshare concept in a different perspective. Nobody said it's cheap. Who's saying it's cheap? In the hotel, you paying what? $100, $150 for something decent, right? For a 10 by 14. If I can take that $150 and put it in a 2-bedroom condo, right? Right? Close to the beach or the pool or the mountains or whatever, what will make more sense to you? So it's not about saying yes or no about the timeshare. They should not be saying yes or no about timeshare, if you explain it correctly. It's about saying yes or no is if I can afford and I want those benefits that timeshare can do for me and will give me. You see? So why stay in a hotel this small, right? And throw my money away when I can own something, for those who sell the deed or sell a package or freeze the price. Nobody said it was going to be cheaper. It should not be cheaper, right? Right now you can drive a limo, right? Or somebody will drive you around, or you can drive a smaller car. You're going to buy whatever you need, whatever you can afford, whatever makes sense to you. But who would not want to buy a limo? Who would not want to buy a luxury car? Who would not want to do that? Why not? If you give me a luxury car for the price of a compact car, hello, this is simple. But see, you need to understand the concept of timeshare. Now, I'm sorry to break it down. The problem is that we got salespeople that, they're a little bit too creative. They exaggerate. They promise things that they cannot, deliver. And that's how then we start getting a reputation about, what timeshare. So it's not the timeshare that they're afraid of, it's the people in timeshare. So you need to understand your product, make it simple for the client to understand, right? The most simple program is what? You buy a week, and if you go on vacation, you need to buy timeshare because you're already buying timeshare. You're redirecting your money and getting more for your dollar. That's what we're doing right here across the street. We got Hotel X, and here on the other side, we got Resort X. And the resort, they're going to give you 3 or 4 pools. You're going to have all these amenities. You're going to have all of this. And on the hotel, you have 1 pool. And again, nothing wrong with the hotel. Not everybody can own a timeshare or own, their own vacations. That's understandable. But don't tell me that a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo in the resort is not better than just a regular hotel. As a matter of fact, listen, I worked in Vegas, okay? And I used to have people come into me and say, well, Joe, listen, I'm staying at the Bellagio. And don't get me wrong, beautiful, exotic, the whole thing. That's fine. There's a client for that. But let me just say this. What is the room of the Bellagio? What is the room of other luxury hotels that I love? I love them. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? But guess what? The rooms are pretty standard. worldwide, right? Unless you go to a suite or a junior suite or something like that. Normally, in a resort, in most cases, you're getting a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Now, why they do that? Because at home, you have a 2, 3, 4, 5 bedrooms, 5 TVs, right? So while your vacation that they're supposed to be better are going to be smaller, right? I got 4 TVs at home, and when I go on a vacation in a hotel, boom, I got 1 TV. Listen, we're not going to put the hotel out of business. It's just comparing what you're getting regardless of what the name is. We call it timeshare, right? Vacation ownership. So listen, so going back to the Bellagio, people say, well, listen, I'm in this hotel, this luxury hotel. Yeah, big, beautiful lobbies, small rooms. Is that correct? Again, no offense, love them, have stayed on them, okay? However, when you go to a timeshare or resort, you got what? Small lobbies, big rooms. You got more amenities. It's a family-oriented place. So again, I just want to make a distinction between what people have in their mind in regards to what timeshare is, okay, and the feelings when they say the word timeshare. It's your job to create trust. It's your job to connect with the people so they can listen to a clean, pure, very detailed, but simple message. Timeshare is great. Timeshare works. If not, it will not be a $10 billion business. The problem is, like I said earlier, that some salespeople don't have the knowledge, the savviness to explain something and let the client decide. Listen, I want to sell them all because I believe that everybody should own timeshare. They're already paying for it. You know who should not buy timeshare? Somebody who doesn't go on vacation at all. That would be how many in their hand, right? So if you're going to go out and you're going to get in a plane and you're going to get a hotel and you're going to do all these things and want to have the best quality possible, listen, oh, I only go there to sleep. I love that. Listen, 24 hours in a day, you sleep 8. Why you don't tell the hotel industry, listen, just charge me 1/3 of the cost. I only go there to sleep. As a matter of fact, it doesn't matter if you sleep or not. You need a place for your luggage. See, so that's why in your home, you spend 50% of the time in your house. Why you pay 100%? Because you need a place for your luggage. You need a place for your furniture, for your fridge to be there. You own that. So again, listen, it's simple. It's a matter of understanding that they come with an energy coming in the customer. And then if you don't believe in the product, their energy is going to overpower your energy. Conviction. You need to be strong. Now, is every company perfect? Of course not. There's nothing perfect out there. But what I know is that if you have integrity and honesty and you know this product is good, listen, you will do anything possible to have the customer make a choice based on what it's going to do for them. There's a lot of news. There's a lot of people. Timeshare is not for everybody. Listen, keep renting. That's okay. It hasn't killed you for the last 20 years to rent. But I remember Motel 6 being $6 a night. And if you stay 6 days in a row, they gave you the 7 free. I don't know, but still today, the name is Motel 6. And guess what? It's an average of 85 or $100. They didn't change the name to Motel 85 or Motel $100. And they still give you the same size of unit. Listen, see, if you understand what you're doing and you know what you're doing and you have the information, and listen, don't lie. There's no need to go crazy on what this all about is, right? This is simple. Listen, who wouldn't? If you're gonna go, I was in the beach, and if you make a right and you got a resort on the beach, or you make a left and you got a hotel across from the beach, what is better for you? If I can get you bigger and better walking distance to the ocean instead of same price, right, crossing the street, right, to get to the ocean. What will you pick? Oh, 10 by 14 in this side, right? Or you will pick a 2-bedroom condo on the beach. You're already paying for it. You know what I mean? It's not you don't buy timeshare to get rich. You don't buy timeshare to make money. You buy timeshare to get more for your dollar. And if one day you decided and your product can be sold in the future, it's a return that you're getting that you're not getting renting. So my fellow salespeople and any customer that's looking at this tape, timeshare makes sense. Now, of course, you got to look at what they give you for how much it costs. And of course, if it's affordable. But I did a survey, a couple of years ago, and I asked people, listen, simple question, if I can get you this 2-bedroom, 2-bath for the price of the hotel, that alone, just leave it. It's not about timeshare, it's about that. What will you do? And guess what they told me? But of course. And I asked them, but of course what? See, it's no brainer. That's a smart way and the other way. But you have to be convinced. You have to be knowing in your heart of hearts that this is the best product and you know how to present it. And it's going to do what you say it's going to do. Don't exaggerate. You don't need to do that. Sometimes, another thing that happens is you're pitching the highest product and they end up buying an entry-level program. Now in their mind, they have all these things that it's going to do with the bigger package, but they bought the entry level. Sales professionals, it's your job to bring them back down and say, listen, this is just to get started because your current financial situation, but yes, you want a vacation, you want to give the best to your kids, you want to do all these things. So we're going to grow this program to do all the things that you want to do. Don't expect with $15,000, right, to do all these wonderful things. Sell them the program that fits their need based on your discovery. But the key is timeshare works. Timeshare makes sense. I cannot teach you integrity. There's some companies that are very interesting. They're very too creative for my taste. But if you look at the right product, if you find the right company and you know that it's going to do and you deliver that promise, listen, there's a lot of happy people owning timeshare. If not, it will not grow to the level they grow. See, I'm convinced, so guess what? I can transmit that energy to you, and at the end, it becomes a choice of dollars and cents. My fellow sales professionals, you are professionals. Don't do to others what you don't want done to you. I own timeshare myself. Yes, I own timeshare because I believe in the product, and guess what? I go 2-3 vacations a year. And guess what? I'm getting on a plane. I'm going to be getting in a train, getting a cruise. Imagine buying a cruise. That's timeshare. You share it with others. So I can stand toe to toe with somebody, and don't talk to me about timeshare. Tell me that the salesman lied to you. Tell me that, I get that. But if you know your presentation, you know the steps, you know the program, you know the sequence, you understand the mindset, and you know that you've been backed up by a strong company with a good product, listen, everybody in front of you, they should buy from you unless they cannot afford it. And if they cannot afford it, they probably will not be on this exotic vacation right now. You know what I mean. You know what to do. Do it with honesty and integrity. Sell your timeshares. That's the best way to go. Again, this is Joe Pinero, your sales coach. Go for it. No regrets, okay? No regrets. Do your job from A to Z. Get coach. Get a coach so that way they can coach you and motivate you and all of that, and educate yourself so that way when you get that client in front of you, you know what to do, and it's going to be an easy sale. God bless you. Again, Joe Pinero, your sales coach. Stay tuned. YouTube has a couple of videos. Just have them there. It's my pleasure to share this information with you. See you soon.